So once you build muscle, your metabolism will get faster because the extra muscle that you have. Plus, that extra muscle is your body's warehouse where it stores glycogen.
So I'll ask a question about resets.
Okay.
Um, I've had a struggle this year getting my resistance trainings in, and so, I might get 2 or 3 weeks in that's real good, and then get sick, had a week off, or had a strained arm, had to slow it all down, and get another good weekend. And my struggle is always knowing where do I start back when I start back. Most of the times, I just try to pick up where I left off. And so, because I can't tell you how many times I've had to restart this year, uh, and so I don't know if I'm doing the correct thing by each time by just picking up where I left off, or am I at a place where I need to start over. But I'm also to a point where the resistance training. Um, is there any other way to train instead of doing all the resistance and lifting weights, where I could train in a different way to promote more of lean build, more of not so much trying to burn fat by lifting weights, but burn fat by different exercises like sprinting or jogging, or just something different? Is Or should I stick to the lifting weights and resistance training and building muscle?
Okay, let's go with your first question first. How to know where to start when you get back. Now, if you spend a week and a half that you don't get to lift, you're completely fine with going back to where you were when you dropped off. Basically, at that point, you're treating that week or so that you were out like it was a deload. Okay. You're not going to regress. There was research that was done not too long ago that one resistance training, now we're talking full body, every muscle getting hit, not just the way that you're doing it with the Super 7, but one resistance training every 2 weeks is enough to preserve what you got. So if you're off for a week and a half, you essentially did a deload and you're good to go right back. Now, if you have an extended period away, like I did when I had the 6 weeks that I couldn't lift after the kidney issues that I had, I actually did an entire YouTube video on it. You pretty much have to go back into it as if it was a deload, go to about 50, 60% of what you're doing before you quit. And then over the course of 3 or 4 weeks, work your way back up. The good news there is muscle memory is a real thing. So you can get back to full speed in about half the time it took you to lose it, because those muscle fibers fire right back up and they're ready to go. Now, as far as your question about resistance training or you do something else, the short and ugly of it is resistance training is the way to go. There was another little video that I did. They did research and split people into 3 groups. They had a group that just went into a calorie deficit. They had a group that went into a calorie deficit and did cardio. And they had a third group that went into a calorie deficit and resistance trained. Now, obviously, the 2 groups that work out, they lost more weight than the group that was just in a calorie deficit. The interesting thing about it, though, was the group that did cardio lost muscle, and waist measurements did not go down as much as the group that resistance trained. So once you build muscle, your metabolism will get faster because the extra muscle that you have. Plus, that extra muscle is your body's warehouse where it stores glycogen. So, whenever you eat carbs, we're going to be talking about metabolic health next month. You eat the carbs, it has somewhere to store it, which takes it out of the bloodstream, and then you're not having as big of an insulin spike because of that. So, the best thing for losing fat is resistance training. There's really no other way around it, buddy. Now, you've been doing this for a while now, and you've been doing the MAPS 15 and then my Super 7 program where you're working out every day. You've been doing it long enough that your body would respond great to this. I would recommend, if you want to change something up, we leave the resistance training in, but you go to more of a traditional workout plan where you pick 2 days a week that you could spend 45 minutes lifting, and you run the Tier 1 Sustainable Strength program for those 2 days. And then it takes the pressure off of having to get those workouts in every day. And being that it would be a completely new stimulus to your body, that you've done this other for so long, I think you would respond really well to it.
Okay, yeah, that's something I can take a look at. I was just,
It is in the classroom. If you want to take a look at it and try to see if it's something that you would like, I'll share screen here real quick. This is in the classroom for anybody that's in the group. You're more than welcome to jump in there and use this. So if you go into the classroom, right here on the top row, the Sustainable Strength program is right here. Anybody that's not a member, I charge like $15 for this. But you hit that button down there, and right here is the entire ebook, lays out exactly how to do it. Also goes through what exercises to do, how to build it out, and of course, let me know, and I can help you put this together in a way that would, fit with the equipment and stuff that you have.
all good. I was just trying to get out of working out. Thought if I could run every day, maybe that would help. But
No, you're not going to get to where you want to be running. That's just the way it is.
I'll shoot one. When I come out of this deficit, do we just bring my calories back up slowly like we did with the reverse diet?
You've got two options. You can stay in an extended deficit, which gives your body time for your metabolism to adjust to those lesser calories. And then you have to do a reverse diet to come back out of it. Or if you know that you're wanting to stay in a cut for an extended period of time, let's say you've got 30, 40 pounds to lose and it's going to take a while to do it. The other way to do that is at the end of one of the reverse diets, we can come up with what your deficit numbers are. You run a deficit for 2 weeks, then you immediately go to maintenance for 2 weeks, then go back into the deficit for 2 weeks and immediately back out to maintenance. But if you're on it for more, you're in a calorie deficit for a month or so, you're going to have to reverse diet to prevent the fat gain from adding a whole bunch of calories back into you.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured. We'll just slowly crank them back up.
Yep, and reverse diets. I mean, it's amazing how many clients come to me and they've been dieting forever, watching what they eat, but doing it wrong. And over time has just decreased and decreased and decreased their metabolism. It's actually to the point now where I would say the majority, probably 60 to 65% of the people that come to me, the first thing we do is a reverse diet to get to a point to where we can go into a cut and make progress off of it. Your metabolism will do exactly what you train it to do. So your body is always looking for homeostasis. So when you cut calories and you're losing weight, your body will adjust your metabolism to the amount of calories that you're eating. So then you cut calories again and it adjusts again, and you cut and it adjusts. And before you know it, your calories are way too low and you can't make any progress because you can't get any further. And just to remind everybody on here, if you're wondering if your calories are too low, typically what I go by is you take your weight times 10. So if you weigh 200 pounds, that's 2,000. That is the floor. That's the absolute floor for how low your calories should get. If you go below that, then you're having issues. So ideally, what you want to do if you're at 200 pounds is reverse diet up to around 2,800 to 3,000 calories a day. You can do it without gaining weight if it's done correctly. And then once you get up to that point, then you can put yourself in a 500 calorie deficit a day and significantly lose body fat, eating 2,500 calories a day with a little bit of room to adjust before you have to reverse diet and come back out of it again.